I don't have an opening joke for this one because this movie just can't be summed up like that. Annihilation. I don't know how much people care about hearing my opinion on this. The movie's been, well, in whatever theaters it was playing at, has been out for a little while now and didn't do especially well, so I'm guessing people don't care. But I saw it and I want to talk about it. I'll go spoiler-free for a while, but eventually I will get into spoilers. I'll give you the heads up when I get there. So there was no way I wasn't going to see this movie. I wasn't sure I was going to get to see it in the theater, but I did, and I'm glad that I did. Alex Garland is a person whose work I've been following for quite a while. I really took notice of his writing. He wrote things like 28 Days Later and The Beach, Dread. He really does interesting concepts, often sci-fi tinged. And with his actual directorial debut, Ex Machina, that was one of my favorite films of that year. So I was definitely have my eye on this, and it is what I wanted. It is heady, it is atmospheric, it is a little bit mind-bendy, it is beautifully shot. It is also not for everybody. I would think if you've seen Ex Machina, pretty much whatever you thought about that, you're probably going to think about this. Now, that's not me going like, it's just the same. It's not. It's a very different movie. And it's possible that if you do like one, that doesn't mean you'll like the other. But what I mean by that is, you would watch this, and if you've seen Ex Machina, you would definitely go, oh yeah, same director, because it's got that same very measured, deliberate pacing. It is not going at an exceptionally rapid pace. It's on a bit of a slow boil, although it gives a sort of an initial hook much earlier than Ex Machina does. But they're on kind of similar trajectories as far as how gradual the buildup is, and that a lot of it is just about kind of just dwelling in the space where all this is happening. So, premise-wise, so what we've got is there is a phenomenon going on down at the southern coast in America. It's been dubbed the Shimmer. It's this sort of dome of energy, for lack of a better term, that has been slowly expanding out. Now, people can pass through it. It's not like a force field or something, but every team that has been sent inside to explore what's going on in there has never come out until one person does. And there's a lot of weirdness involved in that. And so this film follows Natalie Portman and 4 other women as they go in as the latest team to give this a shot. And each member has various reasons for being involved in this particular mission. So from there they go in, and then it's just about what they see, what they experience, what they find out. And that's really all that I can say that that doesn't involve spoilers. Other than, you know, just to say it's a film that offers, I think, enough explanations for what's going on that you should be able to follow it. It's not gonna be like Under the Skin, where it just presents the stuff to you and expects you to put all the pieces together yourself. It does give just enough exposition, just enough explanation, but barely. And a lot of what you see is not going to be explained as it's happening. Like, you'll get a few lines, yeah, basically middle and second third of the movie-ish, that are explaining to you some of the core concepts of what is going on. But then later you're going to see things that are very much are extrapolations of things that you were told, but these things aren't going to be explained explicitly. They do make sense with what you know, but you gotta be paying attention. So it's that kind of movie. And for me, I really liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think the one thing I would say is I thought the acting was all good. I suspect some people are going to call the acting stiff because, I mean, it's ultimately it's a contemplative atmosphere piece. It's not a character-focused or character-driven piece. We're not here to really get to know these characters inside and out. And so if that's your normal hook-in for a movie, if that's, you know, you really need to bond with the characters, this might not get you there. For my purposes, you know, and what I like from this kind of material, I really did enjoy it. So I am going to start getting into spoilers now. Okay, here we go. So I love the stuff that they see in the shimmer. Just the little weirdness, and initially just like plants that seem to be, you know, all lumped together in similar shape, but also all different colors, all a little bit off. Things just seem a little weird. Then that alligator attacks them, and it opens its mouth, and inside its mouth, like, that's not normal. And what this movie does better than any movie that I can think of off the top of my head from the last few years is just atmosphere. This environment and this setting is beautiful and horrifying simultaneously, impressively so. Like the image I keep coming to is the body of that guy, because we see the video of the guy getting cut open and his insides are moving around, and later we see his body in this drained out pool, and it looks like it has exploded in vibrant, maybe fungus, maybe plant life. We don't really know, but like it, from a distance you see the shape and the color of it. It is kind of beautiful, but then you look closer and you go, oh, that's his skull at the top, and the jaw's over here, and the rest of the skull's over here, and that's his tongue sticking out, and it looks like his head friggin' exploded, and that's kind of horrifying, yet still at the same time oddly beautiful. I love that aesthetic. I think that's amazing and brilliant. I like the tail end of it. I like the climax a lot. I like that it doesn't get it doesn't get over explained. You're just presented with what happens. But like I say, I think we're given just enough information prior to all this to be able to follow what it is that's going on. The characters are fine. The one who kind of goes nuts, you know, saw that coming relatively early, but you know, it worked, and it wasn't like Sunshine, where it just kind of felt like, boy, that came out of nowhere. It's like, no, I kind of figured that was going to happen, and thankfully she wasn't like the end boss of the movie. Although it's funny I use that term, because I think it was about 40 minutes into this movie I had an odd thought, and I haven't been able to shake it since. I think this movie, as much as I like it, would have made a better video game. Now, if you've seen this movie, this might make more sense to you, but, you know, the film was kind of, you know, like I said, deliberately paced. And, you know, as you get to wander through this very beautiful yet unsettling environment, imagine instead of being led through the hand narratively through this environment for about 2 hours, yourself, as a player avatar, wandering through this more or less freely for 6-8 hours. Think of how unnerving and unsettling that is. I mean, think of the things they encounter. Think of the plants that are shaped like people. Think of, you know, the bear. Oh God, imagine encountering that in a video game without knowing that it's gonna be there. And it just shows up out of nowhere. And I mean, heck, the film practically has a final boss encounter. It'd probably be a quick time event the way that it works, but like I just came away thinking this should be an atmospheric sci-fi horror survival game. It would be amazing. And it's not often that I take in a piece of entertainment and think about, boy, it'd be even better in this medium. But it happens sometimes, and it happened with this one. I don't know if I'm alone in that thought or not. Maybe I'm nuts. Don't think too hard about that. But coming back to that bear, it was awesomely upsetting having this huge bear missing most of its face and it opens its mouth to do what should be a roar, and it's this dead woman's screams of help. God, that was unsettling. I mean, that's an unsettling enough concept, but then how it was executed visually, man, that was unnerving. And that's the other thing about this movie. The violence is not pervasive, but when it's there, it is brutal. Wow, I mean, this film was not for the faint of heart. So take that as a warning before I get into spoilers that, yeah, this thing earns its R rating. It really does. And like I said, it's not across the whole movie, but when it's there, you can't miss it. Overall, I really enjoy headspace movies that require a little more work to get your way through. So I liked this movie. It lost me a little bit in its third act, but I did overall like Under the Skin. I like Ex Machina. I like The Fountain. I enjoy these kinds of movies that that sort of take me to this really having to put my thinking cap on and work it out as it's going along, you know, in sci-fi concept kind of things. It's a really hard needle to thread, though, because I'm also really picky. Like, you'd think this would mean I'd like 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I really don't. But that's kind of getting on a tangent at this point. But Annihilation, I saw it. I liked it a lot. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts were, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. There's all the stuff to do. You know, the likes, the subscribes, and buy t-shirts, support me on Patreon. I don't know. Check out the description down below for all the stuff there is to do. Decide for yourself what you're feeling like. But until next time, this council is adjourned.